Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another ride. Y'all be sure to let me know how y'all doing down in the comment section as we're going for a nice, beautiful ride this morning. It's a lovely Saturday morning. Decided I'd go by Best Buy before I headed out on a ride and see if I could pick up a mic. But alas, they did not have one. So we're back to the setup, recording back at home. So just enjoy the ride, enjoy the views, and come along with me as we have some more motorcycle riding and some more rambling about fun stuff. Today, decided I'd go on a nice little 2.5 hour ride around Northwest San Angelo. It's going to be a nice ride with some curvy roads, a few areas that might have some good overlooks, and a good morning because it's nice and cool. A few times today, it'd be a little bit too cool, but that's all good. So this is where we're going to be going. Looks like the ride's going to be about 2.5 hours, and to start out with, we're going to be going north. Going straight north on 208 all the way up to Robert Lee. Now this route I was told about by a fellow bike rider, so shout out to her, and hopefully it's as good as she says it is. Once we get to Robert Lee, we're going to be taking 2034 down southwest a little bit of ways, and then we're going to be taking 87, looks like it'll be going back towards San Angelo, but we'll turn off pretty quickly, down south again, onto Burma Road, and then Arden Road. And then we'll start heading back towards town again, onto Texas 67, zooming up that way just for a minute or so, and then we'll jump off again, go through the town in Knickerbocker, up by the Twin Buttes Reservoir, and back into town. Now right now, trying out recording at 1400p this time, but it's not doing super good because it's draining the battery really fast. So I doubt I'll use that until I get a good charging method set up. I'd really like to be able to record for longer periods of time because right now it's looking like I'll barely have enough to record everything I want to on this ride in 1400. So hopefully I'll be able to, when I get the mic, I'll be able to set up a good situation with a battery pack or something that's going to let me recharge the GoPro and keep it up and running for longer. So hopefully I catch more stuff that y'all may miss otherwise. Now I'm on the lookout for this lookout, and while we're looking out for the lookout, be looking around and seeing what I see as I look around. The nature is so nice. I've seen birds, seeing some deer, seeing some squirrels, and not seeing much traffic, which is always a very nice thing. Haven't had to pass anybody, and been mostly alone. The road's quality is pretty nice. That's always something that makes me think a road is good or a road is bad. As you all will hear in my July video, the roads make the day sometimes. Whether that be from signage, like up in New York, sometimes the signage is unhelpful at best, or it be the road conditions. It can be good, like in North Carolina on Blue Ridge Parkway, or it can be really, really, really atrocious, like it is in Louisiana on I-20. I don't think they had any real engineers design that road. So trash. But this road's good. I think it's called Burma Road. It might just be 2034 though. It might have two names. But, it's really curvy, and this section right here, zoom, 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 nice and fun. Super good. Okay, Arden Road's not as good as I think it was going to be. The suggestion was that Arden Road and Burma Road were going to be pretty good, but this one's, it's alright. But, I mean, it's better than a normal road, that's for sure, but not as good as Burma Road for sure. Looks like I passed up the Outlook. It's more of a pull-off gravel parking area than a good sit-around place and maybe watch a sunset or watch some wildlife with some shade or something. There's no good trees there for shade, and there's no benches or anything. It looks like it'd be kind of like a rough spot to try to stay there and do anything. I'm thinking next time I'll probably reverse the route, start going west, and then go north and come back south, instead of doing how I did this time, going north and then south and then east. But right now, I'm thinking this was a good route. It's one I want to do again, and it was pretty fun. I do think it'd be better to end with the more vibrant roads than start with them, though. especially when you're riding in the summer. When it gets closer to noon, it starts getting a little warmer. It'd be better to be in those good roads with the good breeze and weather towards the end when it's a little warmer. Y'all are in for a treat this time, because on to the next weekend. So, putting 2 weekends of rides into the same video this time. This weekend I'm going to College Station for a football game. Now you may think that this will be the first soccer game that'll ever be at College Station. But of course, my dad went to school here, and him and his friends, some of which I'm going to this game with, actually played soccer in Kyle Field late at night whenever they would close it up, per se. So, soccer's been played there before, but maybe not to the level that we'll get to see tonight. And in one weekend, College Station's going to have a concert for a very famous country artist, George Strait. So College Station is going up in the world, using their stadium for more than just American football. Very nice to see. Good for business. This will be about a 4.5-hour ride, which I'll be breaking up by stopping at Cycle Gear for a new helmet. I'm very excited. Cycle Gear is a really good shop for motorcycle equipment, gear, helmets, gloves, all sorts of things. And they have some good services like installing your Bluetooth systems for free, and they also have a really good online presence and partner with another good website called RevZilla. Now the reason that I am wanting a new helmet is fourfold. So first off, my second helmet is a little old and has been dropped a lot. So in order to keep having 2 helmets, I need to replace that second one. The one I'm wearing right now is pretty good, but not like the highest of safety ratings or anything like that, and not the best ventilation and that sort of thing. What I'm thinking is I have a job, I'm going to go for probably the best quality helmet I've had yet. So I'm going to be getting a Sedici, a white Sedici. So that's another reason. I'm getting a white one because in the summer, black helmets are pretty warm. A third reason is I'm getting a really cool sun visor with it. So I'll flash a picture on the screen now of it. So y'all will see it a little later, but the sun visor is very cool. It looks like fire. I'm not just calling it like a fire visor, but it looks like fire. It's super cool. But basically it's a tinted visor with one of the kind of like the sunglasses tintings over it to make it like shiny and pop and that sort of thing. And then, of course, the last reason, like I mentioned already, it's going to be a really good quality. It's going to have good sound suppression, it's going to have really good safety, good airflow, and that's going to be very nice to have. So far, it's been a really cool morning ride. At points, it's been almost too cool. Hopefully, it warms up like just a little bit, but I know it's going to get warm today. So I'm kind of basking in the coolness, and I'm liking it. It's better than what it's going to get to. Alrighty, stopping to grab the helmet. So we're into Colleen, and I'm going to be getting my helmet at Cycle Gear. So I'll catch you after I get it. Okay, that was a really easy experience. Really good service. Got my helmet and actually got signed up for RPM, the rewards program that they have at Cycle Gear, because if I signed up, I got some cash back on the purchase, and because it's a really good quality helmet, it's a little bit expensive, so the cash back actually paid for the membership itself. So now I've got the benefits for no cost. So getting the helmet strapped back on was pretty easy. I'm not super confident in the method, but I pulled over, shook it around, and it's fine. It'll work. I might do a little bit more vigorous of a method when I get going this way back after going to the game, though. It's getting a little warm on the rest of the ride, and hopefully get in before it gets baking. Alrighty, got into town, getting some fajitas for lunch, and gonna just be playing some clips of some of my favorite points along the ride, some of the best roads, as I just ramble about the game. So we went to the game pretty early, got there, and they have a huge fan zone outside of Aggie Park. And so that's what we went to and just hung around in for maybe about an hour while we waited for the game to start and waited to go into the stadium. But this game is Mexico versus Brazil. Two really cool teams, two international teams. This is my first international game. It's a super fun atmosphere. The fan zone is dominated by the Mexican fans, but we do see plenty of Brazil fans. And some people that just in random soccer jerseys, because it's a soccer game. In the US, people have all sorts of different ones. It's kind of crazy seeing Kyle Field taken over like this, seeing heightened security and so much more green in the stadium than maroon. It's a really fun atmosphere, though. They have a Aggieland mariachi band, and we got to hear them early on, although their miking got progressively worse throughout the game, and it got harder and harder to hear them whenever they did their bits. But it was super fun. The game was a blast. We got into the stadium maybe 2 hours early before the game started, so I got to listen to Aggieland mariachi, hang out, take some pictures, chat with some of my friends that hadn't got to see in a little while. And the game was very fun. Started out with Brazil dominating. Brazil went up with a 2-0 lead, and it took a while for Mexico to get back in it. But Mexico got back in it with 2-1, and then 2-2 in the dying embers of the game. Almost to the 90th minute, Mexico ties it up, and the stadium erupted. They were so happy. Everybody was pumped because vast majority was Mexican fans, but they were pumped. They loved it. They were playing music. The announcer was loving it. And then, just a few minutes later, all of their joy came crashing down. Brazil scored in the 93rd minute, I believe, but it was definitely into the stoppage time. And Brazil scored, and then the game was over just a little bit after. And oh no, Mexico lost. But it was a super fun game. I was mostly rooting for players during the game, not really for one of the teams over the other one. Got to see some good players from the Premier League, a couple from Fulham, and got to see Vinicius Jr. in a new haircut. So it was a very good time. Vinny Jr. got the assist for the final goal for Brazil, so it was good to see him on point and playing really good. And then the US this next week actually got a tie against Brazil, so we did pretty good against a really good team that obviously is going to be one of the favorites at the next World Cup, and I guess during the Copa America too. Well, we got back late that night after the game, and now I'm headed back to San Angelo. Stayed over Saturday night, went to worship in the morning, Sunday with the group I was part of during college. Good to see all the different adults and mentors that I had there. And then after lunch with some good barbecue, made sure I took a nap because we got in really late. I think we got in at 11:30, all took showers and didn't get in bed till 12:30. So I was a little bit tired after lunch. Got a good nap, got to sleep a little, rest up, and then took off around 3 o'clock. So on the road, and unfortunately having to stop here for a train. And it's baking. It's so hot. But I guess that gives me an opportunity to talk about my new helmet strapping method. So, strapped on the helmet onto the back a little differently. As you can see as I'm walking around this bike, I've got my backpack strapped on its backside, and then my helmet is actually strapped similar to how I did it on the way, but in a better way. So I strapped the helmet where it's not going to move anywhere to the side because it's in between two different backpack straps. Anyways, it's more secure, and I feel way more confident in it, which is really good. Because if you feel confident in your gear, you're not having to turn around, check on it. You're not worrying in the back of your mind, is it going to fall off? Am I good to go? Will I have to stop? Will my helmet be ruined? Because if it falls off going 70, yeah, it's ruined. It's going to bounce, crack. It might not actually ruin it, but you're never going to know if the integrity's good. So you really have to replace a helmet after any sort of fall at speed. And they say if you drop a helmet from anywhere higher than 6 feet, you should replace it. Although that was kind of the problem with my AGV that I'm replacing now. I dropped it a lot. I probably should have replaced it a couple years before, but it ended up being a second helmet soon after, and I didn't really ever use it that much. So for the helmet, expect in August, that'll probably be my August video, get a good helmet review up. So yeah, whoever's looking for a helmet to buy, if you decide to put a little bit more money up front when you're getting a bike to get some good gear, hopefully this will be a really good helmet for you. And so expect a video about every month on average. I may ramp it up in the fall when the weather gets purty, but for now, probably just want to do one video a month as I'm getting into the swing of doing YouTube and stuff. So make sure you subscribed so you don't miss them every month. On the subject of doing YouTube, I've been messing around with different graphics and animations trying to figure out how to add those to the video, because I've got a really good idea of how I want to do things on the channel, but I am new to the video editing and it's taking a little while to figure out how to make the animations, but also how to research and find animations that I could use, because I found a few different ones and I'm like, oh wow, that looks super good, but then it doesn't work on the program that I'm using. So I potentially might swap programs, but of course I'm trying to do it all on free programs, and most of the free versions don't have as much functionality, or the ones with the really good animations don't even have a free version. So having to balance between free and fancy, and we'll see where I end up. Probably more towards the free for now, but if y'all tell your friends about this channel and we pump up the subscribers and the views, we'll go to fancy real quick. So spread the word. The ride back was a bit more drastic of temperature differences than the ride here. In the beginning, since I left around 3, it was hot, and stopped for a train within the first 30 minutes of the trip, and was actually dripping from that. As you saw me walking around, I was there for a while. Later in the drive, the sun went behind some clouds, and it got cool pretty fast. So that was really nice. And then rode for a while in that, and I could see the clouds building. And then thankfully, the clouds are around for most of the time the sun was going down. I only got spit on a little bit by rain, and then when the sun came back out, it had cooled down enough that it was actually really, really comfortable. So the last bit of the ride, maybe the last 2 to 3 hours, were really, really nice temperatures. I do have to get a really good charging method though, because during this last bit of ride, I missed something super cool on camera. There was a hawk that was flying to our right side, and as we were nearing it, I was behind a couple different cars. As we were nearing it, this hawk came drifting down towards us and buzzed the car in front of me. The hawk was maybe about a foot in front of the car, and then it swings around and comes from my left side and buzzes in front of me too. And it was about maybe 2 or 3 feet in front of me. It was super, super cool. Almost felt like I was gonna get a little bit eaten, but I've had that sort of thing happen a couple different times, and haven't caught any of them on camera yet, but it always adds another factor of unpredictability, excitement, and wonder to each ride. Getting to see the different wildlife and moments in nature. Hopefully I can catch more for y'all on those, because they're so cool. And well, that'll do for the riding. Catch y'all in the next one. Hope y'all enjoyed the weekend videos, and make sure to hit that subscribe, leave a comment on what you loved, what you want to see, what kind of ideas you have for the YouTube videos. Catch y'all in the next one. Later.